What's going on, Rotation TV? This is Tap Out Beast right here. I have what Vic has made, which is the Harlem chopped cheese. So I'm about to bite into this bitch right now to see what the hype is about. So let's find out.
Ain't no hype. Harlem's finest.
This nigga,
chopped cheese.
This nigga wraps it up like a straight up,
like a bodega, son.
Nigga,
I just
like,
handle aluminum
this is
foil.
actually better than a bodega. That's the sad part.
It's that parchment paper. It's that parchment paper.
I gotta give you straight up. Listen, restaurants need to fucking take note on how great this shit looks. Like, damn. All right, so we're about to find out
the Harlem chopped cheese. Alright, so we're going to be starting with some salt, pepper, tomato, a small onion, lettuce, and ground beef. These are all the basic essentials that you'll need for that chopped cheese outside of just getting you a delicious hoagie roll or Italian roll, however you want to do it. First, we're going to start by just topping the tomato, super simple. Just going to get you some nice thick cuts. You want to be able to taste that tomato and have enough in there that, it's going to make for a delicious sandwich. Once you're done with that tomato, we'll move them off to the side. We'll go ahead and chop an onion. I'm not going to really worry about the whole thing. It does not have to be, super fancy. It can be a rough chop because this is all going to be cooked inside with your meat anyway, so there's no real need to worry. You're going to start with those vertical slits. Once you've got those vertical slits and you've got to chop down, at that point you can just jump into the standard chopping process. You're just going to go ahead, get in, just chop. I like them a little thick because I like to be able to taste the bits of onion as they're cooking. They cook through and they've caramelized there. So once you've got your onions ready to rock and roll, go ahead and start those in a pan with some oil, vegetable oil, canola oil, olive oil. I would say probably vegetable or canola, just because the olive oil, we want to save that for more delicious flavorings in food. Once you got your onions, you're just gonna put in some ground beef there. As you can see, my ground beef is a little sticky. Sorry about that. You're going to go ahead and just surround the onions with that. I tend to let them kind of shake around and get their juices going so that this way they fall towards the center of that pot. And then you're just going to start to incorporate them. Just mix them in. Go ahead and chop down your meat. Normally this is done with a cheeseburger in the bodegas, and they put that on, and as it's cooked they start to chop that down and mix it in with the onions. But doing it with ground beef, for me, I just think you get a more consistent piece of meat, a better crumble on it. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and cover that, and you're going to let that steam work its magic, and you're going to kind of press down to kind of get that into the cast iron or into your heat, so that this way you can start to flatten out some more of that grease. I'm going to go ahead and give that a flip, another stir. And this is a big secret here, and this is the first time I've ever told people about what I do with the chopped cheese. But what I go ahead and do is I take a little bit of bouillon. Shout out to J. Kenji Lopez Alt. His video actually put me onto that, and that's where I kind of got excited about incorporating that. So you can see the yellow on there. Obviously a little garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper as well has already been incorporated. You don't have to go crazy with the salt if you're using the bouillon, because it is a lot of umami. And cover that over again, and let's go ahead and get started on our bread. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get us a nice roll. This was purchased at Publix. They usually sell these in a 4-pack for like $3. Super easy. You can toast the bread if you want, but I like a nice soft bread for this. I just feel like it makes a difference. We're going to drop a smattering of mayo. We'll go ahead and also drop a smattering of ketchup. And for me, I don't know, something about living in the South introduced me to yellow mustard on burgers, and this is the closest thing you're going to get to a cheeseburger in a hoagie style, so I'm going to add a little bit, just a splash of yellow mustard right here. It's a little more than a splash, but this is a big sandwich. So we're going to go ahead and marry those flavors. Get you a spoon, get you a fork, and just go over that like you're trying to make a Jackson Pollock painting. It's going to spread out everything. As you can see, that's a little more than I needed, but and sometimes I'm in the pocket and I'm not paying attention, so that's totally on me. So we've got our top on the meat, and let's go ahead and check on that. We've been letting that kind of just steam and cook through with that that seal, so that this way you keep all that heat in and helps to cook it a little faster and also get rid of some of that grease here. We're going to go ahead and take that off in 3, 2, 1. Yep, that was supposed to be a 3, 2, 1 cut. Here, Most important thing of a chopped cheese is the cheese. We're going to go ahead and pop on 2 slices of thick American. Khaleesi likes the cheddar, but when I'm making chopped cheese, she has to deal with that, and that's the kind of cheese Poppy's going to give you in the gas station or inside of the bodega. Like, you're not going to get some nice fancy cheddar. There's some spots in Brooklyn I hear that are doing fancy cheddar and Gruyere and all that other stuff, but that's not for us here on Rotation TV. We're going old school, and yeah, I'm extending this out because I want you to see that cheese melt. Alright, so here we've got our bread. Best way to pick up a Philly cheesesteak is lay your bread over it, or chopped cheese, lay your bread over it, get the spatula underneath, scoop it out. So here you go, your final product. You got your sauce underneath, your mayo, your ketchup, your mustard, you've got your cheese layer, then you've got your meat. That cheese layer is going to help to protect from the bread getting soggy. We're going to throw our tomatoes in there. We're going to put some shredded iceberg lettuce. At this point, you could get a little froggy with it and put some pickles if you wanted to. Some people like to do raw onion in it. For me, though, I like to keep the chopped cheese as original as possible. Got one more last splash of ketchup into the lettuce. And there you have it, the chopped cheese. All that's left is to grab you a knife. Go ahead and put that inside. It's going to help with the fold. If you go to the Publix, you know that's how they do it. Go ahead and slice it here. And what's left is to give you that cross-section look. Wrap in the parchment paper like Poppy would give it to you in the bodega. Ladies and gentlemen, the chopped cheese.
Oh, bet. American cheese.
American cheese, extra thick. Just how Poppy would give it to you in the bodega.
Damn, nigga. The flavor. What'd you put in the hamburger meat?
So I just found out a secret ingredient. You'll find out when you see the video of me making it.
Oh,
because I do have video of the chopped cheese being assembled. It's from a couple of nights ago when I started my first ones, but I think the recipe is tight up and on point.
Mind you, I'm not even a big fan of the lettuce and tomato, but putting it together, damn, nah. I see why it's hard to lose weight, bro.
Yeah, you can't, man.
You can't be a cook and fucking lose weight.
And there's the chopped cheese, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Rotation TV with another at-home food adventure. You saw what's on our plate. All we want to know is, what's on your plate?